Hello, everybody. My name is Caleb, and you're watching Live for Love TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Live for Love TV. Oh.
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today is the 14th day of the 12th month of the 21st year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Oh, so where are we again today? Here we go. You know me, always bringing it up, always pushing it. I thought I'd talk today about the Cosby show. And in the Cosby show, even though Bill Cosby's name is not actually in the show, but for some reason he felt it appropriate to call it the Cosby show. His name is Huxtable, and he has a family, and I think he has 4 daughters and 1 son. And in this program, it's a near perfect Black American family, near perfect. Professional people, upper middle class, all children going to college, on their way to college, should I say, well educated, well mannered, no drugs, all this kind of stuff. This is the kind of image that he portrayed. And what was interesting, I thought, about the Cosby show back in the day was it ran for about 8 seasons, I think. And at least 5 of those seasons, it was a top program in the United States of America. Now, if you look at that program, and then you look at the state of Black America with its relationship problems, and if Black America has relationship problems, most of the other Western countries, English-speaking countries with black people, are not far behind. So that's the UK, Canada, everywhere else is pretty close to behind, not far behind whatever problems the Americans have. And when you look at the problems that are between black men and black women in America, it's absolutely amazing that this man was able to get away with a program like this. Now, we know there's been controversy about Mr. Bill Cosby, about whether he raped somebody or whether he drugged somebody or not. I don't going to go down that road, because that's for somebody else to talk about at some other time. But one thing we do know, by his own words, by his own admission, by his own affidavit, as they call it, that he was having relationships outside of his marriage, which he's been married to for a very long time. He was having constant relationships outside of his marriage, whether they were, sanctioned properly or not. Now, what's so funny about him when he plays this man, this doctor, in the 8 seasons, I don't think he ever had an extramarital affair, and neither did his wife. Not a single one. Yet in his real life, it was continuous. In his affidavit, it was continuous. Woman after women after women. So you can see where Black America's problem comes from, and the rest of our problems not far behind. There's absolutely no reality to the character he played on TV. Probably, we don't even know if there's any reality to any man in the upper middle class, any high-earning man not having an extramarital affair. Now, people can say, "Oh, I don't think my dad did, and I don't think this person did, and I don't." Well, that's okay. I'm not gonna tell you what your dad did, or what your uncle did, or what your brother-in-law did, or whatever. That I'm not going to tell you. You know what they did, so that's there. But the truth is that if this man, who actually was more successful in his real life than he was in the man he played on TV. Think about it. This guy was far more wealthy than the man he played on TV. The man he played on TV was a mere doctor. He's an actor, massive actor. He's been famous since the 60s. So he's been in all kind of movies. He's got all kind of money. He was massive even before he got into that role. But what's funny about that role is that role was higher up than the average working class person, because it was an upper middle class family. So he was playing a role of a man that was most people in the Black America would have looked up to, yet it was a lower than his role in real life. And he couldn't keep it together in real life. But somehow that Hollywood concept could keep it together. And this is why a lot of Black American has problems, because just like other people in let's say white America, this Hollywood concept, this fairy tale concept of relationships that people have been fed year in, year out, is as I like to say, is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you just have to look at all the marriages up and down the country, especially when they break down eventually. There's been extramarital affairs. And even you'll find some females saying, yes, I know my husband had an extramarital affair, but I'm staying with him. I love him, and it was a transgression. But in the Huxtables and in the Cosby show, there was no extramarital affairs, as far as I can remember. Absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. So even when we get a chance to put pen to paper and portray ourselves, we never portray ourselves as human beings as we really are. So you've got all these women saying, oh, I want a family like that. Oh, I'd love to meet a man, a professional man like that. Of course you would, because it's made up. It's a story. It's another storybook romance, another storybook relationship. None of his children ever get into any problem. In the middle of America, none of his children get to any serious drug issues, even serious relationship, no underage pregnancies, nothing. Nothing that could happen to almost any family at any time. None of his children have a sort of psychological issue or nothing like that perfectly. And that's what you can do when you write a story. But then here comes the problem. When people start to buy into that story and wish to have a relationship or a family like that, they're going to find themselves coming up short because they don't exist. They're not real. It's Hollywood. It's make-believe. People, I always say, I respect actors. I like actors. I like when actors portray parts. But the one person I would never trust if they were close to me is an actor, because that's exactly what they are. They're a professional actor. A professional actor is a professional liar. Has to be. You've got to make people believe something you're not. So you've got to lie about who you are. That's what the part calls for. Now you wouldn't call it lying because you're being paid to do it, but the more you believe that in that person, is the more that they've sold you, as they say, a 6 for the 9. They're not showing you the real person, and so that's why we find these actors have got all of these image consultants and all these people behind them to make them look like what they're not, so they can make money and make you believe believe a story that's not true. And Bill Cosby is a classic example of that. Regardless of whether he's a criminal, a sexual deviant or a criminal, this man was having many, by his own admission, extramarital affairs. And in 8 years of this family that he played on TV, he never thought, let me just put one extramarital affair in there, just to make it seem a little bit real. That's what they do. They don't want you to know the reality. Live for Love TV is about the reality. So take care, look after yourself, and see you back soon.